Hey everyone, hopefully you're having a good day. My name's Andy. My channel's Finding Value. Today we're going to look at the 1 month returns of a lot of these uranium companies. It's whatever I could figure or whatever I could remember, all the companies off the top of my head, because I don't have a list. I'm just kind of going forward off the top of my head. And I'll give you my opinion. Again, it's just my financial opinion on what some of these companies might be like good ones to look at. Sometimes I split my preference. If something's doing very well, sometimes I buy that. If something is lagging the group, well, sometimes I buy that one. So I'll let you know the ones that I kind of think look good because I look at all the charts all the time. I look at some of the long-term ones, and I'll give you my opinion. Again, please don't use it as advice. You can just use it for as another opinion to bounce opinions off of. So here we go. Let's jump in. I'll give you the 1 month on these guys. So upper left here, I'm going to zoom in as much as I can so you guys can see it the best. This is a 1 month chart, and I'm comparing, I call this the American crew, a lot of the American companies, maybe not all of them, but Encore Energy, Energy Fuels, UR Energy, Uranium Royalty Corporation, and Uranium Energy Corporation. Of the group, UEC has performed the best, with the laggard being Encore Energy. Of this group, which ones would I look into? I like Encore Energy. I also like Uranium Royalty Corporation. I don't own as much in the others. It's just my preference, but I do own a little bit in Energy Fuels. I don't own much. I don't know if I own any in UR Energy. But I do own a lot. I overweighted Encore Energy. I was buying Uranium Royalty Corp, a good stake. And I own a little bit in UEC, ticker symbol UEC here. So you can see the performance difference. Encore has been the one that's lagging here. And that's been a solid performer across all time frames in the past. Encore Energy has. So in the 1 month, it's been lagging. And of this group, I would be the one I would buy of this group is Encore Energy. That's the one I would be looking at. This is the African crew. The African crew on the 1 month. Global Atomic being the leader, Goviax, Uranium, Deep Yellow, Forces Metals, and Bannerman. I actually own and overweighted every single one of these companies. My largest holdings probably Bannerman and Deep Yellow, with close third Global Atomic, Goviax, and I up my stake in Forces Metals over time. But I like all these, irrespective of what the chart says. And the ones I would be buying now, I mean, Bannerman looks good, Forces Metals looks good, Deep Yellow looks good, they all look good. All these look good. I'd probably choose these top four: BNNLF, FOSYF, DYLLF, and GVXXF. These are probably my picks here. Global's had a pretty good run, but these are the ones I really, really like, and their charts look very good. And remember, this is a technical analysis. Kind of look at it, and I do like the fundamentals, and their dollars per pound also are very good in Africa, but they may always be more cheaply valued than the rest of the group. But that could change quite dramatically as the price goes up, as they are, I would say, a little bit higher cost producers. Now, this group has performed pretty well. Fission 3.0 Corp has done the best. Oh, and Fission Uranium. Fission Uranium and Fission 3.0 have done very well. Denison Mines is a close third, with Camco and NextGen. And I like this group overall as well. I do own NextGen. I overweighted it. I've overweighted Fission back in the day when it was like 22 cents or 20 cents or something. And then I bought recently Fission 3.0 and up my stake in that. I don't own any Camco Corp at all, and I own a very little amount in Denison Mines. Not saying that it's good or bad or anything, but these are all very evenly matched here. And I consider these all to be, well, outside of Fission 3.0, but these guys here are all kind of the leading producers, I would say, in the Athabasca region. So they're all very good companies. This is an exploration company, carries a lot more risk. It's going to be a lot more volatile. As you can see, this thing bounces all around, which is what I look for. Now here's some of the Athabasca exploration companies. Baseload doing very well at a 25.68% return. Canalaska being the laggard. The rest are kind of in the middle. Of these, I like baseload. I've overweighted that one quite a bit in the beginning. I own Sky Harbor. I don't own, well, I own a little bit of Canalaska, just not a lot. I own an okay stake in Standard Uranium, and I own a very little bit in Asian Corp Energy. But those are good. There's nothing wrong there. Looking at this one, 92 Energy is flat. Laramide's up 16%, UEX 16, Western Uranium, and ISO Energy. I keep forgetting to put Western Uranium in some of my stock technical analysis things, but I remember to put it in this one. Of this group, I mean, ISO Energy's been on a tear. That's been one of the best performing companies of any of them. It's a exploration company. So that might be one that you could look into. It hasn't performed very well over the past month. That's usually what I look for sometimes. I did recently up my stakes in Laramide and UEX Corporation. Laramide seems to be very volatile, and I'm liking that. So it pulled back, and it looked fairly good here. So I added some in there. But that's that group. Centris has been killing it. Oh my goodness. This is a 1 month, 51% almost. We got Boss Energy at 14.5, Peninsula at 11, Paladin at 15, and Lotus Resources at 20%. These are all pretty good returns. This is a solid group with Centris just killing it. Of this group, these are all pretty solid performers. I can't really pick a clear winner here. I think they're all actually decent picks. So I think they're pretty solid here. And then going on to this guy, we got Consolidated Uranium, Valera Metals, Appia Rare Earths, and Uranium, Blue Sky Uranium, and Forum Energy Metals. And Forum Energy Metals has gotten hit because they released some earnings at their Janus Lake drilling site, which they have metals and uranium. It was at their metals site with Rio Tinto. So maybe that's an opportunity. It's tough to say because when you're drilling, they release some results, and they probably have more results that they're going to release. And I don't know what those results are necessarily going to be, but it's up to you on what you want to do and do some research. Blue Sky, they have diluted in the past. I know they've got some warrants that'll slow down the price move potentially, but I own a little bit in it. I upped my stake in Appia Rare Earths. I guess Uranium Insider didn't like Appia Rare Earth for a variety of reasons, but I guess it doesn't bother me. So I bought a little bit in Appia Rare Earths. I've been cost averaging in. I already owned some from before. I don't own any in Valera Metals Corp, and I would own it. I just have to watch it and remember. And I own a little bit in Consolidated Uranium, and that one looks fine too. There's nothing bad there. That's been a solid performer across the time frames. Consolidated Uranium. I think Appia has been solid too. And then here is North Shore Global. That's URNM, and URA, which is Global X Uranium. That's URA there, and they've performed about the same, with URA slightly edging it out in the past 1 month, about 14.67%. So that's that. So if these guys, if you're not at about 15%, you're lagging, like Peninsula Energy and Western and ISO. So of all these, and getting a kind of a clear picture there, I kind of favor the African ones. I just think that's just me. And I also favor the Athabasca in Canada. But I like Deep Yellow. I'd buy Deep Yellow here if it were me too. I like Deep Yellow, Forces, Goviax. I mean, if I had unlimited amounts of money, that's where I would put it. Encore Energy does look good. It's pulled back a little bit. Man, this sector is so good. Like there's a lot of options, but there's also not that many options. So it's got a, like, it feels like it's got the right amount of companies to really, if we had a lot of money pile in here, it's got to only go to a certain amount because there's not that many companies, but then there's enough where you can get a good diversification mix. So it's like the perfect, like, amount almost. And I'm sure there's more than this, and maybe I forgot a couple, but it, it's up to you on what your strategy is going to be. If go with what you know. If you know one that's kind of in the middle of the road, I mean, maybe that's the best spot to be. I haven't seen a clear, looking at different time frames. What happens is the companies go up, they hit like resistance levels, they go sideways for a little bit, and then another one breaks. So this one does well over the month, and this one kind of went sideways. And I'm just trying to buy a lot of these when the companies come up to resistance lines, and then they hit and they get stuck for a little bit. And then I'll pick some off there. And then if another one gets stuck, then I'll pick that one off there. I'm just kind of picking ones off before they take off. And I think in some of the charts, I think like Appia Energy is kind of in a pattern right now, and I bought that one. I bought Laramide. Some of these ones that just broke to the upside and are kind of going sideways, those would be good ones too. I think Fission 3.0 has done that. When we saw Fission break its pattern, it took off massively. I mean, it ran pretty hard. So Forcis Metals, I think, is kind of in that spot where it's getting a little bit stuck. Yeah, Deep Yellow, Forcis, and Goviax are the ones that I like their charts on. Laramide's another one. And then Canalaska is kind of stuck below one. So that one might be one to look at, Canalaska. Baseload Energy's putting in a big cup and handle pattern, I think. That'd be one to look at. And Sky Harbor broke out of its big pattern, it's just kind of sitting there. I mean, all these look really good. Centris already kind of launched. So in my perspective, I wouldn't chase. That's just me. UEX is kind of held down a little bit. It seemed like it's down there. Some resistance. That might be one to look at as well. And Appia. Yep. So that's what I have for today. If you guys have any questions, put it in the comment section. Love to hear your opinions and questions. And thank you for listening. This is Finding Value.